Welcome to the Johnny Bright Bowl, the 2025 Alberta Bowl here on IC Live. It's the Wainwright Commandos taking on the Bonnyville Voyageurs in the 9-a-side provincial championship. Welcome up to the booth here at Johnny Bright. Connor Toffin joined by Rob Herod. Rob, pleasure to have you in the booth for tonight's game, and it should be a good one between two teams that have been hunting down a provincial title for a long time. It's been a while since either of these teams have been here.
Yeah, the history goes back a long ways for both these teams at different variations or levels of football. But yeah, they are all after one thing here tonight, and we're in for a great showdown here on the Friday night game.
Two historic programs, as you mentioned. Commando football has been around since the early 60s. They've been in the Wheatland Football League up until this year. It's their first year in the 9-a-side program. They won the Tier 3 provincial championship all the way back in 1994, but for Wainwright, it's been a long time, and it's kind of what this 9-a-side can bring for a rural community, is a chance to compete once again against schools similar in size. And you played Wainwright this year as well. Really strong team. Yeah,
actually, we had a chance to coach on our team to travel to both of these towns where they run football, and tradition does run deep in both Bonnyville and Wainwright. We went to Bonnyville. They had a great game. They hosted us, great hosts, but you could just tell the entire community, businesses alike, are all preparing for these games, supporting these programs. The coaches have been around for a long time coaching football, so a lot of experience on the sidelines on both teams. And of course, our trip to Wainwright last week unfortunately ended the wrong way, but put me on air tonight, which was great. So I'm glad to be here to watch this one and call this one tonight. But Wainwright, same thing, strong community ties, are really building a program, and both these programs really get to develop their players from the minor football all the way through. And you really sense the community in doing that and what it offers to these athletes, not only through football, but then beyond their playing years.
As you see on the bracket there, Bonnyville dominating their way through the provincial playoffs. 53-0 against Pincher Creek. 63-7 against Ponoka. The only team that has come even close this year to Bonnyville was Wainwright, who got here with a 34-6 win over Valley View, and then, sorry to bring it up, a 53-29 win over Millwoods in the provincial semifinal. And so we talked about Wainwright, rural community, a coaching staff that is run by former and current military members, and but then you go to Bonnyville, who have been just dominant in this 9-a-side division this year. So when you guys played Bonnyville earlier this year, what gave you guys troubles against them?
Well, I mean, the physicality that they brought to the game. And again, we're coming from 6-a-side, so it's a little new for us, and we don't have the bodies. But, man, they were physical at every position. They dominated the line of scrimmage, and they had athletes in their secondary all over the place. So they kind of gave us fits. And, we put up a fight, and it was a great game, but they definitely had the upper hand on that night. And so I expect to see Bonnyville come in, be very physical. It's almost like a machine out there, and just getting there and watching everything and how they operate, it truly is a machine at this level, and they are going to bring a very physical presence to the field today. And with the conditions a little bit colder, again, the field is great for this time of year, but there is some snow into the turf there, and so I think we're going to see a really strong run game, which unfortunately, my defense felt the brunt of about a month ago. It was much nicer back then than now, but they are going to run the ball, and with authority, with a lot of running backs and some very physical running backs.
The program for the Voyageurs started all the way back in 1985 by Brian Walsh, coached the team till 2012. But it's been a while since they've been here in the provincial championships. In 1986, they hosted the Cochrane Cobras for the inaugural ASAA at the time, Tier 3 provincial championship. Since then, they've went to the league final a couple times, but never have gotten this close in provincials. Bonnyville with a great chance today to stop the drought. We're going to take a quick pause for the national anthem. Should be a good one. Wainwright, Bonnyville, provincial title on the line.
We are grateful to live, learn, work, and play on Treaty 7 territory within Turtle Island, and acknowledge these lands of being home to diverse and sovereign First Nations and Inuit nations since time immemorial. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you can remain standing as we play the national anthem.
Lots of support for both of these sides today. A year ago, this game was played a week earlier. Peace River winning 19-18 against Ponoka. If you think it's cold today, Rob, you were there with me. It's far from the worst we can have here in Alberta. It was blizzard-like conditions on the Friday night. I'm going to say that of all the football that I've watched, which isn't nearly as much as you've played or coached in, that was some of the worst conditions I had ever seen on a football field last year. It was so cold, so windy, blizzard for that game. Much, much better tonight. It is freezing out there. It's got to be below -10 at this point. Sun is down. It's brisk, but the wind is pretty calm.
Yeah,
we don't have snow, and the footing is not great, but it's holding.
Yeah, and the wind will make a difference if it picks up. But like you said, I think it's dropped below -12. Probably feels a little bit colder than that. Talking about last year, the difference between the field last year and this year. This year, the snow came in the last kind of 24 hours, 48 hours, but it was always below zero. Last year, leading up until the provincial championship weekend, there was some warmer temperatures which actually caused the moisture to gather. So the snow melts, you end up getting things frozen into the turf. So fortunately right now, and again, I haven't been down on the field to run around a little bit, but fortunately now it's just snow is settled in the turf. So there still is decent footing, but the one thing that doesn't change is that there is moisture and snow on the field. That will get on the ball, and it will make ball security at an absolute premium in football, not only all the time, but especially when it's cold, and turnovers can make a big difference in the game.
As we mentioned, two teams that it's been a very long time for. Bonnyville's first chance at a provincial championship in 40 years. It's been a while since Wainwright was really good in the 80s and 90s. Been a long time for them as well. 9-a-side provincial championship should be a good one today. You think about these small football communities, and these games mean a lot, not just for the players on the field today, but for those that have played for the team as well. You're playing for your team, but a little bit of pressure from the guys in the past as well that maybe didn't get to this point.
There definitely is, and like you said, both these programs have that history. And, we saw a great game earlier that you were calling, the Breton Cougars winning their first ASAA/SSA championship. And the feeling is the same for these two teams, longing after that championship. How long does it take to get there? And they've seen program year after year, kids graduate. I was even on their website today, looking at the long list of alumni that have gone to the CFL from these different programs and played at junior and youth sports. So a lot of tradition and a lot of excitement for both these programs looking for that coveted championship.
It's going to be the Voyageurs getting the ball first. A kickoff off the foot of Cullen Miller. And we are underway. 9-a-side provincial championship taken just outside the 20 by Beliza. Cutting outside the 25, has some room down the sideline. And he's pushed out of bounds just outside the 40. Good opening field position for the Voyageurs.
So the exact same kickoff I saw all last week. Again, trying to get it on the ground. You can see as the ball hits the ground, it's going to bounce and skip a little differently in the snow, taking advantage, trying to get their cover team down there. They did get down, but they gave up the outside edge a little bit. So a decent return to start off. And just a reminder for the viewers, the sideline is about 7 yards in from each thick white line. So that's why you see everyone very, very close. So for the 9-a-side game, it's a little different.
A flea flicker to open the game for the Voyageurs. They have a man, but it's off the back of the defender. Boy, oh boy, it looked like the Voyageurs had Connor Woods open, just underthrew him.
Well, you talk about the run game, you can see the play action, and what it does, it sucks the linebackers in a little bit, tossing it back. He actually had two receivers wide open. On the other side of the field, they had one there. Fortunately, the ball just wasn't delivered, and that's something we're going to watch today. The ball is going to be colder. It's going to be a little bit harder to throw. We'll see if their arms can overcome that.
2nd and 10, option play. They're going to flip it out for Omen, the running back, driven out of bounds across the 45. Pickup of 4. Wainwright comes up with a stop on 2nd down. We'll see if the Voyageurs elect to go forward or punt.
You can see him coming out running a simple option. And again, what you want to see your quarterback do on the option is you want to draw that defender a little bit closer. He pitched it a little bit early, probably not want to take a shot. But again, if you can draw that defender and it gives him a little bit more space. But that's the back I think we're going to see a lot of today. Omen does a great job carrying the load, ball security, and he's hard to bring down.
Voyageurs punting unit is out. Back to return it is Turcotte. Nearly got blocked. Good job to get that one away. Turcotte lets it bounce. It does touch off of a Commandos player. However, there was a player within that 5-yard radius, so there's a flag for no yards.
So big stop early on for the Commandos. Again, I mean, in the games like this, it can be a little bit of punting. You're feeling out your opponent. But again, they went to the air once. They took their kind of shot play on first down.
Bonnyville, it's a 15-yard penalty. First down. Wainwright.
All right, we got his mic working. That's good. Hear all that. That's it's good to hear. And again, field position is going to be important tonight because of the conditions. It can always play into it. We'll see what the Commandos do. Again, a good run game for the Commandos. Didn't have a chance to talk about that, but they like to run the ball well. We'll see which one wins out here.
Voyageurs started on their 42. Commandos on the 47. They were looking for Oracheski, the tight end, and they just missed him. 2nd and 10.
So you can see the play action in the backfield, hides the ball, rolls out, gets the edge there, and again, just not quite able to connect with his receiver, but that is the conditions we're playing in, and that's why some teams will lean on that run game. But you kind of got the clash of the Titans here on the field tonight, that both teams, strong run game, strong defensive front as well.
Handoff on 2nd and 10. They were looking to get Raja going. Not a lot of room up the middle, and it looks like the punting unit's coming on here for the Commandos.
You can see on the replay of the front, he did a great job, and that's what you want to teach your defensive ends to do, is they want to play the body and you stiff arm him. You can see he's playable to the inside, so he's got responsibility for the inside gap, and he did a great job staying playable. He was able to come off the block and make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage there.
Didn't see much there, but the Commandos, they got an athlete at quarterback, played receiver last year, 1,000 yards, returned to the team as a quarterback this year, also plays defensive back as well. So the punt is off. Might have went off Beliza there. He's going to take it around his own 30. Tries to cut it to the outside, across the 45, and driven out of bounds at about the 47.
So special teams starting to play a little bit of role in the field position game. Again, last time it was the punt by Bonnyville. They took the no yards, gained them 15 yards, essentially like a return. And there, Bonnyville did a great job of picking that ball up off the snow-covered ground to get a nice return to the right side.
Quick move down the right side, across midfield. Looks like the Voyageurs are into first down territory.
So the Voyageurs lining up with the tight end. You can see there from the shot, they get the tight end, they kind of run a counter back to the backside. They put the corner in a one-on-one position to make a tackle. He does make the tackle, but not early enough to stop the first down gain. So new set of downs for Bonnyville after the nice run on first down.
Liam Critchin at running back. Team runs a lot of the offense through him. They give it to Omen this time. Across the 45 towards the first down sticks. Good pickup on first down. Give him about 8.
You're going to see like a little trap block. You can see the two interior linemen are pulling around the outside guy, and what they're trying to do is gain leverage on the guys they are blocking, and because Omen can come downhill so hard, they kick a couple guys out, block one guy down, and then find that seam for him to run.
Adam Fox, another handoff. This time it is to Critch, well into first down territory, and down at the 34. Voyageurs keep moving the football.
So again, a similar path he's taken to the first time he got the first down. Again, trying to isolate. You take a back like that, you can see the size of him compared to a corner. He's hard to bring down, and he's finishing his runs moving forward, which is what you want your backs to do.
Adam Fox, 2 years as a starting quarterback, turned into a steady hand for the team, though. Another run. This time for Omen, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Commandos defense flashes. Loss of 1.
Well, and first down for this defense is going to be absolutely important. If you get them in second and medium or second and short, Bonnyville is going to be very, very hard to get off the field. But in this case, getting a little tackle slightly in the backfield there, almost at the line of scrimmage, that's what they need to do, because going into second and long is going to be a lot harder, but they're probably in third, like 3-down territory at this point in time in the field.
Quick pitch out to the left side. Omen trying to get to the edge, now cuts it back up the middle, right around first down territory again. Looks like they'll spot it at the 23. First down, Voyageurs.
Well, on a very patient run here. We'll get the shot here on the replay. You can see he's coming out. He's got to let his blocks develop. So he's waiting and waiting. Then he cuts inside. And again, one more step inside. He's able to make a guy miss there. And so what an outstanding job being a patient runner and waiting for your blocks to develop out in front of you.
First and 10 from the 23. Another handoff. Omen, shoulder pads down, right up the middle. Gain of 5.
This is why Omen was such a difficult back to prepare for when we were preparing. He can come downhill, but he can also be that patient runner to the outside. And this time it's just straight up downhill, getting first down production, which I think is going to be key for both these teams on offense. Bonnyville executing at a very high level right now on first down, putting themselves in great second down situations.
Call it a gain of 4. So 2nd and 6. Another option play given up to Omen. Nothing there. Commandos all over it. Tough to call an aim when there's 3 guys in the area, but it looked like Colin Raja got there first.
Yeah, and that was great job stretching this to the sideline. You can see here, as he's coming up, we missed the edge block on by the guard, and then he didn't really draw him in. So again, you want to draw 54 in, so then he doesn't become a player on the edge. But you can see they don't draw him in with the pitch, and he's got to take a couple more steps to draw him in, say, hey, you're going to take me, and once I make the pitch, I'm getting the leverage to the outside of the field to create some more space. Wainwright did a great job of taking that away from them.
Little trickery here as the Voyageurs give it to Critch. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bonnyville.
So Bonnyville happy to get on the scoreboard first here. Again, using that run game we talked about. They took their shot play, but then they got back to what they do so well. You can see that option look to the outside draws the linebackers out, which they covered well on the first play. Okay, then they come back on the inside. So a great counter play. You talk about developing an offensive system. You often want to have kind of your foundational plays, and then you have those secondary plays built off the action of your first plays. That was a great example of that in Bonnyville, executing to perfection, getting that one into the end zone.
Liam Phillips, the Voyageurs kicker. Out for the extra point. It is up and through. Tack on another for the Voyageurs. So a great run by Liam Critch to open up this football game. And take another look at the touchdown. You just see those linebackers flowing, expecting Omen to get that football.
Well, and you can see Critch does such a great job of stepping to the left before he gets the handoff. So everything is flowing to the left, and then he just puts his foot in the ground. He comes back to the right, and then he finds that backside seam. So again, patience and getting to the backside. But really, it was the first play that set it up. They did a great job of stopping it, and then they come back with a counter and say, hey, they're getting to the edges. The Commandos have some fast linebackers who can get to the edge, so maybe finding ways to not only attack them on the outside, but come back in the middle just like that one.
Felt like the start of this game was really important, didn't it? Felt like Wainwright maybe coming in, Voyageurs undefeated. Wainwright, though, still a long time left in this game, and they'll have their chances to respond. Kickoff was a little short, taken by one of the up men. It was LeBlanc, the tight end, who would also play quarterback at times. There's a backup out to the 51.
Well, and you can see the short kick again, trying to get it on the ground. Doesn't he? Catches it clean, which is hard to do in these conditions, but giving themselves some decent field position. Again, you talked about Bonnyville and the importance of scoring first. In their regular season game, Wainwright actually came out and had a 14-0 lead and ended up blowing that in the game. Bonnyville won that. But again, that scoring early is probably something they were really focusing on.
Fake the screen play out to the left. Quick pass out to the right. Oracheski reels it in. Good first down production. Give him 6.
Well, and again, you talk about with play action. Again, when you have a solid run game like these guys, he's looking at that bubble to the left, comes back, finds a little flat route there. Again, not the perfectly delivered ball. You can see it kind of wobbling, but that's the conditions we're playing in, so they're going to have to use it. But great job of focus and reeling that ball in for some great first down production.
Bit of a low snap, handled well. Handoff up the middle's going nowhere. Bonnyville all over it. We do have a flag on the field. That was Eli Grambo, the safety, coming in to make the play.
We've got a flag on the far side of the field as well.
Offside. Wainwright, number 33. It's a 5-yard penalty. Results. A first down.
I think that was on not Wainwright, but Bonnyville. So offside on Bonnyville, the defense. And yeah, producing the first down there. Maybe that's the guy who was offside, got in the backfield a little quick.
Grambo, the safety, making the tackle. Tizard might have opened up that hole a little earlier, though. He got flagged for the offside. So from the 47, the Commandos looking to respond. Vallow, the quarterback, going to tuck it and run. Angle towards the sideline, not a ton of room at all. And Wyatt Neer drives him out of bounds. Didn't finish that hit either. Good call, he was right at the sideline.
Yeah, and again, when the sideline is a set of cones because of the narrow field for 9, you got to be very disciplined out there because once that whistle goes, and again, I don't think either the defenders or the offenses want to spend any more time on the snowy ground than they need to. So keep them up, avoid the flag. And these guys know each other well. They're not too far apart, and they play each other fairly often. And so they've seen each other already this year. They want to make sure. And
Ball's out. Valo falls on top of it. It'll be a loss of 4, though, on second down.
So, again, just having a hard time getting the exchange there. You can see on the snap here, just tries to, get it in there and pull it out. But, again, he didn't have a great handle on that, and that's where does a great job of getting on it to give them the opportunity on third down to punt this one away and see if they can gain some yards here.
Started off with that good field position out at the 52. Pick up about another 11 yards in the drive, and now a punt up and over the head of the returner, Beleza. He'll have room to return, though, across the 20. Tries to cut it to the outside again, and takes it to about the 28. Decent flip of field position there.
Yeah, Turcotte, I think that was on the cover there. Actually, it was the kicker there. So you can see Turcotte takes off. After he's kicking the ball, you can see we'll follow him right down the field. He's the one who makes the tackle, so really stretches this to the edge. Does a good job right there. Does a great job. So for a kicker, and again, a lot of the times in high school football, the kicker is not just a kicker. He's playing something else, but great coverage and great tackle there on his own punt.
Plays free safety as well, leading the team with 6 interceptions, multiple fumble recoveries. His coach told us in the notes before the game that he's not only a punter with a booming leg, but also first down the field to make tackles. You've seen it there.
Well, and what better punter would you want on the field than your free safety who can make some plays and make tackles and is an athlete, can get around. So, often in high school, if you don't have that pure kicker, we'll put your best athlete out there, let him go cover it.
You see him just coming into the screen there, standing on the own 40. Run to the outside is going to be enough for a first down across the 40. Voyageurs keep moving the sticks.
So Bonnyville continues to really move their linebackers around with action in their backfield, and then with 2 strong athletic backs just churning out the yards, something that they do very, very well, and they've found that rhythm early in trying to get Wainwright to be guessing on defense which way they're going.
Out to the 41. 2 backs stay in the game for the Voyageurs. They'll drop back to pass. Throw from Fox is caught across midfield and into Commandos territory down around the 50.
So great screenplay set up, and again, unfortunately, I've seen this one run against us, and they ran it to perfection that night as well. You can see them setting up to the left here and then coming back. So they've got linemen out in front taking care of blocks. And again, they kind of missed that one a little bit. If they would have got that, he would have been off to the races. But absolutely great execution by the back to buy himself some time, get out there into space, and create a great opportunity for the first down.
Lots of misdirection and counter in this Voyageurs offense. They'll go to the air here. Ball's out. Commandos on top.
Ball security at a premium at this time of year, and Commandos take advantage of that one and now get themselves back on offense to see if they can get some points here. But an outstanding rush from the edge. You can see the contact. He gets a hand on the ball. It's on the ground, and the rest of the defense is around to jump on that. So outstanding job. Good pass rush to get in there and not give him the time to throw that downfield.
Recovered by Jackson Tipler out of Edgerton. That pass out to the right side, intended for LeBlanc, falls incomplete.
And again, just having a hard time getting the grip on the football. You can see a little bit of play action. Again, it's really tough with that ball as it gets colder and colder. Again, a little bit of moisture cover on it. It's hard to get a grip, and so passing is going to be tough. And, of course, 2 teams who do like to run the ball and can do it quite well are going to have to find a way here on 2nd and 10.
Quarterback run. Up the middle goes Valo. Gets to about the 51. Just a pickup of a few. Side note on Brennan LeBlanc. He's had a pretty tough high school career so far, Rob. He's battled injuries. He's had multiple surgeries throughout his high school career, and he is now fully back healthy. Can play anywhere on the field, makes a big impact on the team. Throughout all of his recovery, never spent any time away from the practice field. Good to see him in a game like today's.
Well, it's nice when you hear that story that they can come back from injury. They stay committed. It's hard to stay committed as a high school athlete when you're when you're not playing due to injury. So that takes discipline on his part.
Good punt here from Jaden Turcotte. See if he's in on the tackle again. This is going to be a decent flip in field position, taken down around the 19. That's a 31-yard net difference. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great punt. I like how he's angling it to the sideline there, trying to get the bounce and then out of bounds. It doesn't quite get out of bounds, but again, they've kind of pinned him in with a dynamic returner like that. Does a great job. And sure enough, he is the punter's down there making a play on the cover team for the punt team. So Commandos are going to need to find a way to stop this run game. Other than the turnover, they've had a hard time in the last couple drives.
4 receivers to the left this time for the Voyageurs. There's a flag on the snap of the football. Quick run for the quarterback, taken out of bounds. We'll have to check that flag, Rob. Wonder.
Looks like it's procedure. I didn't quite catch where it was. I wonder if they didn't have an end.
No end on the right side, it looked like to me. I think this one's coming back. Let's get the call.
Legal formation, no end.
Yeah.
Bonnyville, it's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
With 4 guys out to the left and the tight end is on the left side. So what actually needs to happen is the tight end needs to move to the right side of the line, and that allows the guy on the left. Because with 4 guys, you had 1 guy on the line, of course 3 guys off the line. They didn't have that balanced formation, the tight end, so they had a guy who was uncovered with an ineligible number.
4 receivers to the left again. Pressure on the quarterback. They're just going to flip it ahead. Is this a loose football? Whistles do go. No receiver in the area. And now we get the flag.
Yeah, I think he was trying to throw it away, but without anybody, like you said, in the area. And now we'll have to check because they made the call. I don't know if the tight end was on that side because if the formation was aligned properly, they'd have a tight end, but he may not be there.
Bonnyville, number 12. It's a loss of down, second down.
I'm all over it in this game. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Put the stripes on me.
You've got those young eyes looking at this game. That's a great job there. But again, totally flipped the field position here. This should be, I think, looking at the sticks there, should be second down, making that flip. So second down as they lose the down, but they also get the spot there a little further back where he threw the ball away.
2nd and 23 from their own 7-yard line. Going to be a quarterback run here for Fox. Has a little bit of room up the middle, and he gets stood up at the 15-yard line. This physical Commandos defense making it tough on Bonnyville.
You can see there he drops into his pocket, doesn't see his receiver open. Coverage was great downfield, forced him to pull it down and run, and that's what you want to do on second and what was over, I think, 20 yards. So, again, good job forcing a punting situation. Now, again, how much field position battle do you want to play? Do you take the safety here? My guess is they're going to punt it away because so far their defense has been doing a pretty good job of obviously keeping Wainwright out of the end zone but hasn't moved the ball a ton. So, again, a couple yards back and maybe they take the safety, but here they'll punt this one away and let their defense do the work.
Ball's on the ground. Commandos weren't able to get a lot of pressure, but now a high punt into the air, jumped off of a Commando, now taken by Wainwright. And eventually Yahia, who just came up with that big tackle on Fox on the last play, is taken down just inside the 40. Boy, had a lot of things going on that play.
Yeah, and interesting. It's not the technique you teach a returner to jump and try to catch that, but he did try to chase it down, I think, trying to catch someone in that halo. No one was there. Discipline on a very good discipline job by the Bonnyville Voyageurs to stay out of that halo because he did rush that short kick. But again, with 2 linemen or 2 blockers kind of right where that ball was coming down, that bounces either way and it's a free ball.
It is 7-0. Bonnyville ahead into the first quarter break.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride
and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.
Got any marshmallows, Rob?
God, I wish. I got a real long marshmallow roasting stick. I think it's on the opposite side of the field. You can just
Need about 110 yards, right?
Extend it right across the field, and maybe we can text them an order and say, hey, you want to throw some hot dogs and some marshmallows on there and bring over some s'mores.
It's a shot just about as Canadian football as you can get. Late November, playing a couple weeks after even the Grey Cup is played. It's high school football. It's the 9-a-side provincial championship, Wainwright Commandos and the Bonnyville Voyageurs. And boy, the players would love to be on the field. I'm sure the people on the stands, though, would love to be around that bonfire over there, hey?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. And it's but the energy is high here. A good fan turnout from both teams coming in from out of town here in Edmonton, and excited to see their teams on the field. And then we got a close one here, of course, with the Commandos trying to see if they can crack that zero off the board and get themselves some points here. I think, again, the Bonnyville has just really found a way to get their run game going early. Again, a few shots, but they've been a counter with some of the stuff that the Commandos defense was doing here. Now we'll see if Bonnyville, defending a short field here after the short kick, we'll see what the Commandos can do and if they come back. They've got a full stack of in-house linemen right now.
Got a flag on the snap. Another flag here. Didn't see a ton early in the game, just
Procedure.
one.
Wainwright, number 42, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
But a few late in the first quarter, and now one to open up the second.
So Wainwright came out with a couple receivers in their package, a little bit of different formation, and their personnel is a little different right now. We'll see as they get lined up. The original play they called, again, you can see how they just pack it in, and we've seen this. So now they got both tight ends, more like linemen playing tight ends. So 5 guys in the front, they got a fullback and 2 backs, and here they go to the right edge.
Heavy run formation, as you said, and just about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Bonnyville all over it.
Yeah, doing a good job. You can see their backers are reading and pursuing. And again, that front edge is so important to try to attack and give themselves some space out there. But again, Commandos weren't able to find that space. And again, just kind of stretch it to the sideline. They end up going for a slight loss, if not right at the line of scrimmage. So we'll see. Again, we talk about first down production. 2nd and 15 is not where you want to be when you have a run game.
See if the Commandos are forced to go to the air. They will. Lots of pressure, though. Good play by Vallow. Steps up in the pocket and completes one across the 20. That's a big man down there. Tough to bring him down. That is Richard, an offensive lineman. That's Tippler, a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And that's their tight end they brought in, so he's eligible to go downfield. And so that's what you try to do is you run heavy. He reports. So, again, he's got to report as an eligible number when you line up at the tight end spot. And again, that's something they've done and I've seen before, but a great job of springing him loose downfield.
Bonnyville in the scoring area, another physical hit.
Well, and this is just the demonstration of the physicality that we've seen from Bonnyville. Again, some smash mouth football. You can see the front edge doing a great job there, stretching it out and just not giving him the space. And again, they're kind of running to the short side of the field, and so they kind of run out of space a little bit early. Sometimes you want to attack. If you're going to pack everybody in, use the edge, and you get your speed to the edge if you feel that's a way you can attack this defense. But again, a very physical defense we've seen tonight so far. We'll see if they can hold them out.
I form. They'll fake the handoff up the middle, going deep to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown, Wainwright. Yahia.
Well, and again, they go with a little play action. They go with that really run-heavy offensive formation. You can see it there with 5 offensive linemen He just comes through and sneaks through. This is a perfect ball. Coverage is actually not too bad. He's just a couple steps in behind. If that ball is not thrown perfectly, then again, he probably doesn't make that completion. But an absolutely outstanding job. A little bit of play action, finding the way through the inside of the interior lineman and leaking out. So great response from the Wainwright Commandos to get on the board here.
Wainwright looking to tie it up here on the extra point. Bit of trouble on the hold, but it is a shorter extra point at the high school level than you'll see in the pros, so still able to get enough leg on it, and Bonnyville has tied the game at 7. Here's another look at that play action touchdown for Yahia. Vallow with the great throw.
Sneak out, and again, just kind of plays it, just undercuts it. He gets his eyes at the quarterback and doesn't see the receiver, and then he doesn't have the time to recover. But yeah, outstanding job getting that ball down. It's kind of coming back sideways. I think he caught it like a loaf of bread there because it was spinning the wrong way. But a great job of getting it down and getting that through to draw this even here this evening.
Kicker Turcotte had already taken a step up. He was pretty much flat-footed, but still able. That, was good from 12. Might have been good from 25 still. Good leg.
Well, and I know that wasn't directly off a turnover, that drive, but the turnover is what flipped the field. They got him pinned deep, and great opportunity for them to get back in this one.
Some good special teams as well. Went into that touchdown for the Commandos. Returned up the middle, out across the 30. Feels like this game's starting to swing Wainwright's way a little bit. Crowds into it. Momentum swung in their favor. Bonnyville's offense coming out looking for a response.
Well, I was going to say exactly that. I said that turnover led to it was a grounding penalty that put them deep in their own end. The short punt that was bobbled a little bit ended up giving them the good field position. Again, it felt like Bonnyville kind of had control of the game, and that was a really important drive that Wainwright was able to finish to draw even here. So.
Direct snap is going nowhere. Boy, oh boy, looked like some room maybe there for Omen, and then all of a sudden the Commandos were just right there.
Well, and he's one of their key players. You can see the backfield just stacked in there. You got two running backs and then a sweep guy, and again, just a good job. It took a little bit long. He's got to get out of there a little bit quicker because typically on a draw like that, you want to let those guys come upfield, but you got to beat them to the line of scrimmage. In that case, he wasn't able to get to the line of scrimmage in time.
Saw that hole up the middle. Clark and Hunter, though, right there. Bonnyville, this is Fox down the left side. Not enough for a first down. Maybe about 5 short. We'll see if they bring out the punt team again. Call it 4 short. Bonnyville is punting.
Yeah, they're calling for a punt.
Well, yeah.
We'll see. What I've seen, and again, in football, generally speaking, less so at the 12-a-side level, but 9 and 6, you see what I like to call the run punt. Is your punter's a great athlete. You let him kind of take off. If he doesn't look like he's getting the first down, he just punts it on the fly. And you can see here, there's some space to do that. We'll see they're just going to punt this one away.
All over Phillips. Had to get rid of it quickly. Batted out of bounds by Wainwright. That was Turcotte, so he's free safety. He's kicker and kick returner as well. Love the 9-a-side game.
keep them on the field. You keep your athletes out there. Again, attrition will take its part in cold weather. It can be tough, but there's no other game to save it for other than the championship one. So here they go. Decent field position and a big stop after, of course, their score. Now their offense has another opportunity. You can see the play action coming into play here with Wainwright. We'll see if they go back to that run game. They've got the 5 offensive linemen there ready to roll.
Quick run up the middle. Rajat out across the 50. Call him down at the 50. Pickup of 8.
And that's the run game. I thought the Commandos would come out a little bit earlier and try to attack, like just downhill. They got some big bodies, some very, very strong and skilled offensive linemen. That first down production is absolutely critical. And so, again, they're kind of following that same recipe as Bonnyville. But on that other drive, they found a way to get play action before that run game got going. So now they're working the other way.
2 backs in again. We got a flag on the snap of the football. I'm going to see if I'm eagle-eyed again. Looked like that fullback might have moved a little quick for Wainwright. Take another look on the replay. We'll get the ref call.
He's get the call right here.
Offside. Bonnyville 53.
Someone jumped. So the fullback, he's allowed to move. He doesn't cross the line of scrimmage, so
Right,
it's the
that's just
defensive
a motion.
lineman, so he can, and they're going to give him some grace, even if he's moving forward, as long as he doesn't like jump offside, just like receivers. Receivers attack the line. They're not technically on the line, but they give them a little bit of grace to be within that yard as long as they're lined up.
Down
off
into
the line.
the flats. Boy, there might be some running room if they can get to the corner. What a tackle. It's a pickup of 6 on first down, but credit to Grambo, the safety. Could have been a big gain.
Well, this is an outstanding job of closing. Like, you see where he is. He just comes flying in there, does a really secure tackle, violent tackle, getting him to the ground. But again, great play set up by the Commandos there, kind of setting him out there. And again, you can tell the footing is just not quite what it's used to being with the snow on the field, but great execution there.
Going to the flats on the other side. Grambo in coverage. He's all over the field. Forces an incompletion. 3rd and 4. Bonnyville's probably going for it.
The Commandos really throwing the ball a little bit more than I thought we would see, you know, trying to take advantage. Again, he had him there just a little bit high, but that connection's that much more difficult in these types of conditions. And so, again, seeing them a week ago through the air, they definitely they took their shots through the air off of play action. Not quite like that where they just dropped back nearly as much. But again, their run game really sets it up for them. We'll see if they get back to that on the next drive.
So Bonnyville will punt it. Tim Vallow elects to send out the punting unit, play the field position game. Going to be a flag here. This is going to be a 15-yard, no yards here against Wainwright. And in the end, we're only going to have a few yards difference in field position.
Well, it's definitely going to make a difference, and all those things may add up in a game like this, a close one, a battle back and forth. You can see they just got to find a way to locate that ball a little bit better. It's really hard because they're kind of like wandering slowly forward, and then you can see him come in. He's just got to keep that 5-yard discipline, stay out of there. So, again, these are the ones that flip the field a little bit. So, again, pretty good opportunity there for him after that punt.
Net difference of 4 yards. Got it to the first down marker, but not the way they wanted to.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one to be disciplined on because, again, that's a big difference. A 15-yard difference makes the difference in these drives.
Time's going by quick here. 6 minutes only and some change left here in the second quarter. Look at that pile move out to the 50. Could have been a short pickup of 2-3. Instead, Bonnyville gets 6. Liam Critch on the run.
Yeah. You should have seen this guy run all over us in our game. He is a back that you cannot tackle him with one person. You can see there the Commandos have to gang tackle, have to get in there. I mean, they almost have their entire defense. What do you say, 6 guys? 6 guys to get him down, and that is going to be all night. They got to get on him.
Critch out to the right side, puts the shoulder down, stays in bounds. No, they will call him out at the Wainwright 51, a first down. Critch, though, thought he was going to go a lot longer.
They come back to that roll to the left, set up the screen to the right, and man, what a difficult man to tackle. I call him a man because he looks like a man out there. This is a huge difference. That's where the first down marker is, and he finishes going forward to ensure he gets the first down. Again, slight step out of bounds, but again, great job of getting the first down. Now they're in plus territory.
It was close. It's tough to tell with those pylons as well. You don't have that hard painted line. A little tough for the officials as well, I'm sure. Critch putting that left arm down on a couple defenders. And we'll shove one away after the play as well. And that one is going to draw a penalty. I think the Voyageurs offense will be marching back 15.
So they come back to the counter. He bounces it to the outside. He makes one guy miss in the backfield, the second guy there, and the third guy kind of puts a shoulder into him and pushes him to the sideline. You can see the little extracurricular afterwards. It was, I would say, we'll get the call here.
On the play, unnecessary roughness, number 12 Wainwright, unnecessary roughness, number 35 Bonnyville, second down.
So they get Lex Wilson as well.
You know, I think they threw the flag on the reaction, but I'm really glad they talked and they got the call right because it was both ways. It wasn't like super violent. They got the call right, let the play stand where it is, and make sure they kind of know they're going to call that if they do it again.
Flushed out to the left on a 2nd and 10. Quick pitch this time to Omen. He's able to pluck his way forward for a few yards. Brings up a decision here on 3rd down and about 7.
Yeah, and again, plus territory. What do you do? I mean, chunk plays is not necessarily Bonnyville's, natural thing. They have busted some good runs and some nice runs, but You know, 3rd and 4, I'd be very more convinced to go for it. 3rd and long, we'll see what they decide to do. They're lining up like they're going for it. I like the quick kick here, you know, I'll be honest with you. Just catch it, kick it, get a guy on side or something, but see if they can convert.
They will go. Tried to flip it to the right. Instead, it's going to be Fox on the ground running for it. He's not going to get there. Stopped 4 yards short out at the 45. This Wainwright defense has been flying in this game.
They tried to come back to that screen back on the right-hand side, just off our screen, but just off the video screen. But again, they covered it really well that time. They're adjusting to that. One of their key plays that you need to make sure you understand what it looks like, how they operate, and the Commandos are back on the field on offense.
From the 45, sweep, and down at the 40. Both defenses making their mark. Connor Woods in on the stop.
Well, Woods does a great individual effort here, playing the edge so strong, beats him to the outside, and just has the speed of a decent defensive end to get into the backfield and hit that sweep. But you can see that sweep action that goes lateral, it's just not quite as crisp and not quite as fast in these conditions. And so you can see here that front edge, he just outmans them there, gets to the backfield with speed. If you slow the feet of a running back in the backfield, you got a huge advantage as a defense to do that. And that's exactly what he did there by taking the edge, by being strong on the edge. Not only did he, usually you can stretch that to the sideline, but that case he got right to the backfield because that running back was just not in full motion, and that can be attributed to the conditions on the field. Just again, a little more hesitant everybody is when there's snow out there. And a championship is on the line.
I believe that was Wainwright taking the timeout. Woods will also see time at defensive end, or sorry, fullback and tight end as well as defensive end. High intensity player. Coach tells us he takes a lot of pride in the small details of the game. This has been some really well played football here so far, Rob. It has been a tight game. Really just a few big plays, and they both resulted in touchdowns.
Yeah, they've kind of caught them in one of their, you know, what I would say is one of their plays they kind of go to for like every once in a while throughout the course of the game. Both teams have caught them. A little bit of play action, you're guessing at one and you hit them on the other. And so both teams have taken advantage of that and exchanged some punts along the way.
Commando's going to drop back to pass out into the post. Boy, they almost had him. Looked like Oracheski had a step, couldn't quite connect.
Just missed on that connection. Again, we talk about first down production. They lose yards. They got to go to the air. It's a little bit harder to connect. Again, a well-thrown ball just misses the guy. And again, with two receivers in the air, you got to wonder, you know, is that a mix-up? Because usually you don't want to have two receivers in the same area, but wasn't able to hit on either of those guys.
Wainwright is going to punt again. We're just above the 3-minute warning right now. This one might take us down. Good punt, angle towards the sideline. Big Bonnyville hop, but it did go out of bounds at the Bonnyville. They're walking it up to the 40. It was a Wainwright bounce, my apologies, out of the Wainwright 40.
Got an extra few yards on that spot. You can see where it bounces there and just by the 40 there. So again, still enough time for Bonnyville to move the field. We actually have enough time for a lot of things to happen. We've seen lots of exciting 3 minutes left in a half or in a game. We'll see what Bonnyville comes up with, see if they can get a drive for themselves.
Handoff, it'll be Omen out to the 42, not much more. Is that Cullen Miller in on the tackle?
It is Cullen Miller. Man, that's an outstanding tackle on a very talented back. So great job as he stretches it to the edge. He breaks this one. Maybe gone. I'm not sure if they're catching him, but that's a very hard back to bring down, and an outstanding tackle by Miller there on the edge.
Miller, a punter and defensive back, made the tackle. If he missed, it was only Turcotte, the kick returner, kicker, free safety,
yeah.
who was the only one that would have had the chance. Out to the right, it's a 2nd and 8. Little bit of room here for Agbenlog. Ball's out, last one to touch it. Looks like it's Wainwright. Let's see what they call. Wainwright was kind of doing a bit of a military crawl for it, and we don't have an official sign yet, and they're going to call it Bonnyville ball. There's a player down for Wainwright as well, slow to get up.
See if we can dissect this one on the replay here. Again, a great job. Just kind of had to flick it out because he's under pressure, but great job of going down, catching it, getting upfield. See here, definitely comes out there on the shot. That's your kicker, front punter, free safety.
Oh, it's just out of bounds, I think is what they're calling. It is tight.
Well, that cone, the cone there, you can see is about 8 inches outside, and I mean, we get the replay. They don't get the replay. They're on the spot with a white field, so
it's tight enough, and you know those cones, like you said, maybe just an inch or two off balance, no hard white line. I don't think we got a definitive call on look at if the call was right, but you see why they made the call.
They make a call live on the field. When we slow it down on a replay, it's way easier to watch for inches. It's much more difficult out there with the field the way it is, and like you said, no definitive sideline.
A run right up the middle. Big man in there running the football for Bonnyville again. Critch picks up the first down, minute 41 to go.
Well, and by the first down production Bonnyville get 5 yards, you can go to that run game, lean on that a little bit more with your first down production. So great job of setting it up with a little screen back to this side. Again, fortunate to hold on to the ball there, but then they can just go right back to that run game, which is moving the ball.
They're giving the ball to Critch a lot. He's been valuable in the blocking game as well. This time they're going to go to the air. Fox looking for a receiver, has one behind the defense. Agmanlog into the end zone. Touchdown, Bonnyville.
They got illegal linemen downfield absolutely everywhere, and it wasn't caught by the officials. They were running around everywhere. I'm like, he can't throw, because not only were they blocking downfield, but again, didn't get picked up. You can see because he's scrambling around, you can see 56 is downfield, and they're actually blocking downfield. 54, I think, is 64 is way downfield.
About 10 yards down.
So unfortunate, but that's the game we play.
Still a good throw from Fox. Good catch from Agmanlog, and we got a flag on the extra point.
Offside. Wainwright, number 20. Penalty be applied to the kickoff. Convert is good.
Obviously a tough one. We'll get a better look at it from the side. Line of scrimmage, the 47. So O-line, everyone behind right now. No blocks made yet, but you see right there, 64 cuts up and makes one at about the 40.
Well, and he doesn't even have to make a block. If he steps a couple yards past the line of scrimmage,
right,
that becomes an ineligible man. So they have tight ends in there, which are eligible to go downfield. So we had some blocking. It's part of the game, right? You got to respond.
You know, officials have so much to look for. We're talking about it after last game. It's as hard as it is to coach, as hard as it could be to call a game, watch a game nervously in the stands. Probably the hardest job out of everybody is those guys in stripes down on the field.
Because it's all live and they have to make instant calls and instant decisions. It's a tough task. And, our officials around Alberta are very good. And I've seen them in different places, in different provinces. We've got some great officials, a great association that helps manage the officials around the province.
Onside kick recovered by Wainwright. Clark made a smart play there just to fall on top. Get another look at it. Yeah, a lot of great officials here in Alberta, some of the best in the nation.
Well, and they often, select officials for the provincial championship based on the course of the year and how they're doing in their experience. And so we've got great officials running the whole weekend for us.
Bonnyville will defend from the Wainwright 51. Long ball downfield. Boy, went off the receiver. Almost had a shot down the sideline there, but defended well. It was Maleshi in coverage.
Yeah, Maleshi does a great job of kind of recovering when he gets in behind it, but he stays with it. You can see he turns his head and then plays the ball as it arrives. If he doesn't turn his head, if he has contact early, that was played to perfection. Again, staying on him, seeing the receiver, the hands come up, turns the head, makes a great play there to not allow the catch.
Rajat in the backfield with Vallow, the quarterback, going to go to the air here, out to the right. Juggled at the 50 and dropped. 63 seconds left in the quarter. And Bonnyville might be getting the ball back.
And again, well-delivered ball on the target, a little bit behind him, but in his hands, he's got to make those catches. But those are harder catches to make in these conditions than in regular throughout the season. So the Commandos come out, quick 2 incomplete passes, and now they're punting the ball away.
Wainwright's had some good punts today. Oh, another good one here. Pretty good kick by Turcotte, taken just outside the 20, just barely stayed in bounds. Voyageurs trying to find the wide side of the field. That's Granville in the return out across the 35. Voyageurs offense has 47 seconds to work, up by 7.
Well, we know they can hit a big one here, and really through the run or the passing game. Great job of keeping his feet in bounds on the return. Again, taking him to the sideline, gets to the edge there, beats the edge, and then just outstanding job just keeping the edge for the Commandos cover team to not give up a big one here. But as you said, enough time to take a couple shots, maybe bust a run. We've got the backs that can go the distance for sure.
Bonnyville. Fox pulled the first one, finds a receiver. Oh, it's dropped. Well, at first, it looked like a double clutch and maybe some pressure would get there. Then it looked like the Commandos would come up with the interception. Then it looked like Woods might take it to the end zone.
Well, and Woods is a big receiver and a big target. They did a great job. The coverage is good, and then it just kind of slips through. And I think it was enough that he just lost his focus for a fraction of a second because, again, in behind coverage, the 2 guys undercut it and missed opportunity for a big play there, but they've got second down here.
2nd and 10, Wainwright can still get the ball back as well. Pressure on the quarterback. Fox is met in the backfield. Hunter once again. Big loss. 3rd and 17.
Well, this is where do you burn the timeout, stop the clock, give yourself back a couple opportunities. They got 2 returners going back. The Commandos, by the looks of things, if they can get themselves a return here. We'll see. They're going to wind this clock. So if Bonnyville's smart, they'll let this wind down as much as they can and burn the 20 seconds.
Can take it to 13 on the clock here. I'll snap it at 23.
A little bit of a high snap too. Risk that one.
Fielded cleanly by Turcotte, just in his own territory. What a special teams play by Critch. He's all over the field.
That's what they needed. Again, forced to punt it away from their own end. Again, a little bit of high snap. Great job of getting that thing down. And then again, outstanding coverage here and perfect timing. Critch just a phenomenal athlete in so many ways on the offense, obviously contributing there with special teams. And so maybe a couple plays here for the Commandos, see if they can catch Bonnyville. So Bonnyville still tight in their coverage with a free safety over the top. See if they try to get deep on this.
Ball in Wainwright territory. They try to run it. It's going nowhere. Bonnyville all over it. Wyatt Neer once again, the linebacker, in on the tackle for loss. Look at him hit the hole right away. No chance.
When Bonnyville's had to keep that box protected because they are willing to run the ball. And then, again, you get an open space. Again, not only 3 less guys in a regular 12-a-side game, but still lots of running room out there if you can spring one and guys who can go the distance on both sides of the ball. We'll see what they do here the last play, barring a penalty.
They're going to go deep. Why not try it? Down the sideline, batted down. Maybe the MVP on defense in this first half for Bonnyville was Eli Grambo. Made a great play to close it out.
He had a step on him. He just didn't hold the free safety off for long enough. So ends with an incomplete pass. 1-score game. Exciting one here between these 2 teams that are duking it out.
It is 14-7 for Bonnyville, looking for their first provincial title. They had a chance in '86. That was almost 40 years ago. Almost 4 decades later, it was older than me. They got a chance for a gold medal, but it's a tight one with 24 minutes left to play.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.
they say that football, especially Canadian football, is a game that can come down to just a few plays. And so far, that's been exactly what we've had in this game. Connor Toffin and Rob Harrod back at the Johnny Bright Bowl. 9-a-side provincial championship, Bonnyville, Wainwright. 3 touchdowns in that first half, and they were all long ones. Liam Critch, a 23-yard run. And then Adam Fox, a 47-yard catch. On the other side, Vallow, a long touchdown as well, 26 yards through the air to Agbenlog, actually 47 yards, I believe, through the air. It was a good first half. It stayed tight, 14-7 so far, as we have the stats in front of us. One thing that, for as tight of a game as we have had, first downs 11-3 for Bonnyville. Total offense 193-63. Rob, are those stats a little misleading for the game we've seen, or is that more indicative that maybe Bonnyville is just waiting for something to break through big here in the second half?
Well, I think Bonnyville has definitely controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part, and they've controlled the ball. We kind of talked about that near the end of the first quarter, how they just really had the momentum. They put a couple drives together, but I think the big thing is the one turnover has kept this one close. Although it wasn't directly, scored after the turnover, it did lead to the field position switch. Again, a stand by the Commandos, and then they did get their one touchdown on a short field. And so Bonnyville feels like they've been in control. The stats show that they've been in control. Time of possession isn't really that lopsided. I think it's 13-11 or so. And so, again, pretty tight time of possession still, but the yards clearly in favor of Bonnyville. And I think it's because they got their run game going early, and they churned out a few more first downs. Although they had to punt a few times, they did obviously get the two scoring drives put together to get a lot of their yards on it. So I think Bonnyville definitely had the edge in the first half as the score clock shows, but that one turnover has really given the Commandos an opportunity to stay into this one.
Teams returning to the field for the second half. Now, it's obviously a big story in late November Alberta football is always the weather. Through 6 quarters of football so far today, specifically in the first half here in the 9-a-side game, how does it look like the fielding and the footing for the players is holding up?
I think it's impacting the game a little bit, but for the most part, the players and teams have prepared for this type of weather. I know being in Wainwright a week ago, they had to get the shovels out to clear the field because they got some snow a little earlier than here in Edmonton. So they've been on some fields that have a little bit of uneven footing, and so they're prepared for that. But I think for the most part, other than a little bit of ball security and handling what is now a cold football, I think footing's been good, but the weather's still impacting the game.
We haven't had a lot of snow in Edmonton yet this year, and well, I think it was supposed to be around -5, -6. That was the forecast because, believe it or not, I was looking at it the whole time. Like, I don't want to be out in the cold. -5 or -6, but then I think that Mother Nature must have realized that there was football getting played today because right before the week it was like just an incredible downturn. Now we're around -14, -15. It's snowy. But you know what? You prepare for that in Canada.
You do, and that's what we get. If you're playing in November, it's always a good thing. I always tell the players when I'm coaching them that you know what, if you're not playing in cold weather, you're not playing well enough because we're not getting into the playoffs. So the playoffs often bring snowy conditions, as it has this week for the championship weekend. And again, 5 great football games we get the opportunity to see this weekend, and I'm looking forward to all of those over the course of the game. But the end of this one's going to be fun.
Knee was down on the return. Commandos will take it inside their own 30 to start. Yeah, you can get into a rhythm in about +20. Sometimes room temperature, sometimes a little hotter. But if you want to win a provincial championship, it's going to have to get done in a bit of an Arctic tundra.
And most of these kids, because they've grown up in this part of the world, are used to the cold weather. And I always say it's the hardest part is keeping your feet and your fingers warm.
Handoff. Quick run outside the 30. A little bit of running room here for the Commandos. Boy, oh boy, that was close to the sideline. They'll say that they were out of bounds as Rajat picks up a first down.
Another little tight walk down the sideline. We see the sideline play earlier on the turnover there. And you can see here, great job just keeping his shoulders upfield. He indeed stepped out of bounds, but on the spot are the officials, and a first down for the Commandos.
Out to the 39. Commandos kept it close all throughout that first half. Just a one touchdown game. One drive could change everything in this one. Rajat this time out to the 40, fighting forward. Every yard so valuable in a provincial championship. Could have been 0, picks up 2.
Well, and an outstanding positional play by the linebacker and just filling the hole. He sees the gap, fills the hole right away. Does a great job tackling. And as the players get colder and colder through the course of this game, sometimes that physical nature of football just hurts a little bit more each time you take a shot like that.
If you punched me in August standing next to me in the arm, you know, I'd cry a little bit. Today I'd probably cry a lot, put it that way. Everything hurts out here. Down near the sideline is a flag down on the field, sitting at about the 43. It's a big pickup as it stands for Valo in the Commandos offense.
Let's see if we can catch what drew this flag there.
It's funny with the pylons coming a bit in, you almost wonder sometimes if it just got kicked off. That is a penalty marker.
Looks like they're marching him back. Not sure. See if we can get the call here.
It was an offside.
That's a tough one. Tough one. Did a great job downfield, making a play with his legs. Unfortunately, taking him back now, 2nd and long, which is the situation they do not want to be in.
Good start to the drive, but sputtering a little bit here after what could have been a first down. They might have a shot down the sidelines. It's caught over the shoulder, Willie Mays style. Riley Kasprick with a nice one. Good focus.
They love the receivers. You got one coming to the post and the other one going to kind of the flat corner. He's a little bit of a, so you got that inside out where they cross over. You take advantage of some leverage. They found him right in the hole. What a well-delivered ball. Again, in cold conditions, every one is so important. Again, does a great job looking it in, securing it, getting themselves the first down, recovering from the penalty that got them the first down earlier. So outstanding job by the Commandos early in the second half of this one.
Out to the Bonnyville 52. Valo going to take it himself. Boy, bounces it outside. He's behind the defense. He's Houdini. How did he get into the end zone? Touchdown, Commandos.
We have a hard time seeing the sideline, but he's got a clear view of that sideline, and he's tightrope walked that sideline a few times, and he really gets a great vision there. Now, we do have a flag.
Oh, it's back near the line of scrimmage.
No flag.
They'll pick it up.
Look at how close he is to the sideline, and officials right on the spot to make sure he stays in bounds. And again, this is part of the challenge when you don't have a solid sideline, even for the defense, like, oh, he's going to be out of bounds, but he's not. And again, you just didn't finish on the tackle there. And again, he springs that one. And an athletic quarterback, we talked about it earlier, that's the advantage there. He's an extra blocker, and that's all they do is they run extra blockers out in front of him. He becomes a running back. He finds his way to the end zone on the long run.
Extra point attempt for Wainwright. Another good hold. A little bit of trouble there, but they get it down. It's good. 14-14 is the score. Let's get another look at the touchdown for Valo. To my eyes, I thought he was done.
So you got the extra blockers out in front. You can see there, and then he just tight ropes the sideline. They actually have one extra blocker they have, and then just an outrun. And again, it's the angle. So those secondary guys come into the pile, but realize he pops out, and then it's a foot race there. And won by the quarterback, who becomes a running back in situations like that. That's the nice thing about an athletic quarterback.
Valo was doing everything he could at the end of that play there. Kind of tripped on that white line at about the 5-yard line, and boy, he almost went down early. Would have been a big play regardless, but obviously you want the touchdown, right?
Well, and you don't know in these conditions. You can't,
right.
You know, when you're there, you got to take the opportunity. You got to make sure it gets in the end zone, because you never know. It could be a bad snap, a fumble, all sorts of things can happen, even if you're inside the 5-yard line. So good job keeping his feet, getting the points on the board.
Turcotte out to kick it away. Just 2 minutes and 21 seconds into the second half. We got a brand new bell game for the Wainwright Commandos. Driven out across the 36. Good special teams tackle.
By a number that we do not have on our current roster.
Happens every game once.
Let me dig in a little bit and see if we can find something here. But
apparently Rob thinks his rosters are better than mine.
Well, let's see here. Was that number 15 on Bonnyville?
15, Wainwright making the tackle.
See, no.
There we go. That was the last
got
game.
nothing for you.
Critch across the 45. Good pickup on first down, 9 for the Bonnyville offense.
And again, downhill running at its best right here. Bonnyville putting that on display. We saw it in the first half, and they come right back to it, leaning on the big boys up front, the Hoggies, who don't get a lot of love, but when you have a run game, it's not always because of the back. Those offensive line do a great job, and you can see the size of them, big offensive linemen. That's really the big difference between 12 and 9-a-side, really, is just, they got a couple extra linemen and to fill those 5 linemen out. In this case, they go 3 linemen, and sometimes they bring in some tight ends. So, again, very much like the 12-a-side game, just a couple extra less Hoggies on the field. Nobody wants to tackle him. You can just tell watching that replay. It's just a big body, a big back, and that's Bonnyville's recipe for success, is starting with the run game, running downhill.
Critch, once again, down the right side, reverses field across the 50. Now gets the pads turned forward, out across midfield. Liam Critch, a good guy to have in a cold weather game like this, and anytime that temperature drops, really anytime anything below like plus 15.
Well, and he puts his foot in the ground there. You can see he's not going to get the edge, and that's hard to do as a back in any condition, especially a big back like that. Do I dare say he looks a little like Jerome Bettis out there? Like a big solid back, good feet, gets his feet in the ground, makes that cut back. He's running well tonight.
It's a game where you want to be the hammer, not the nail, that's for sure. Here's another look for Critch. Well, he'll hammer his way forward on this one across the 50 and down into Wainwright territory at the 47. Voyageurs coming up with a response drive.
I would say Critch is more like a sledgehammer coming through the line more than just a regular hammer. You can see just running over the defense there, like 3, 4, 5 guys trying to get in and get that tackle, and it's tough in cold weather games to make a tackle on a back with such strength, athleticism.
Quick pitch out to the left side. Wainwright into the backfield. We got a flag as well. Came from the referee standing at the Wainwright 40. Was looking at a linebacker when he threw it. Let's see. This is going to be interesting. Quick discussion. Let's get the call. Calling it an offside on the defense.
I do like the balanced attack Bonnyville is doing. A little bit of play action, the odd pass, but really they're running inside and they're running outside, and they're keeping the front 7 or the interior of the, there's not usually 7 in 9-a-side, but the interior linemen and the linebackers, keeping them honest and trying to pursue both outside and inside. They've done a good job of balancing that out.
Ref Mike went down. Must have not been an offside because they moved the chains. 1st and 10. Voyageurs omen with the run right around first down territory once again.
This is the danger of this backfield. They got the sledgehammer inside, and then they got the hammer on the outside, who can still lay the boom if he wants to on the outside edge. You can see they're going for the first down marker, very, very close. But, you got a hammer and a sledgehammer in your backfield. They can get to the edge. They can run well. Bonnyville, in order for them to kind of win this one, I think they're really going to have to continue to lean on those 2 guys with maybe a little bit of play action to take a shot. But right now, I wouldn't go away from the run game. It is working very well.
Run game can help you control the clock as well. It's been a long drive. About 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Another handoff to Critch. Bodies everywhere. He'll step to the outside. And I think that's what has made Critch so good in this game. We got a flag on the play as well on 2nd and short. He's physical, but he's got enough agility to be able to bounce one to the outside as well.
Yeah, no, he's got good feet for a back, and again, hard to tackle. That's a tough mix when you've got the size and the athleticism and good quick feet like that.
Penalty's going to go against the defense. Sounds like we're not going to get our ref mic back at the moment. Sometimes it's cold and equipment just starts to go.
We like to guess, and we like to lip read when we can. Watch the signs, see if we can get the information out to our viewers who who are waiting in for that. But great first down run, and Bonnyville's in a great position here in the red zone.
Sweep. Agbinlog met in the backfield. Over the 25-yard line, it'll be a loss of 7. Look at Yahia. He's had a great game. He's all pumped up.
You can see the edge, and you can see these guys stretching it to the edge. Eventually, he's got to stop his feet. And again, the defensive lineman slipped, but because he stopped the feet of the running back, the pursuit is able to get there. And all night, really, the Commandos have really shown that defending the edge run is something they do well, forcing Bonnyville to come back inside with their interior run. But now second and really long, it's hard to go to the interior run unless you're going to bust one.
2nd and 16. They'll fake it to the ground, go to the air, tipped by the safety, Turcotte. Boy, it looked like Bonnyville might have had Woods for just a moment. Turcotte comes in and saves the day.
Yeah, they come back to that same play with Woods down the field. He's open early, but because he put too much air on it, again, the defenders have a chance to get over there. So that's as a quarterback. When you see him open that early down the seam, which is like a perfect tight end, he's a perfect tight end build, you got to get it to him a little bit quicker because the defense missed him early, but they were able to recover with the lob on the ball. So try to zip that in there a little bit, get it to him so he can make the catch and run.
Gormley in coverage as well. 3rd and a long ways to go. No sense punting, though, when you're on the opposing 24. We got a timeout called here by Bonnyville. 3rd and 16. Feels like a pivotal point in this football game. Can Bonnyville maybe get to about the Wainwright 8? This one would not be easy by any means. But we've seen some big plays from their offense today.
Well, the other thing that starts to play into this a little bit, and I think they may have their punt team out, is it's a tie game, and it's been a battle, and it's been close, and it could come down to a single point.
Yeah.
It could come down the field goal, and I haven't seen much from a field goal standpoint for either of the teams, both in our game and through the season, and so it looks like they may be thinking about punting the single to get the lead, and then again, those points are better than maybe your 10 or 15 yards in field goal because then the pressure kind of sits back on Wainwright knowing they're down even if it's just a point. So interesting to see how the Commandos decide to play this if they can field this into the end zone. Do they bring it out to avoid giving up that point or does it go out the back of the end zone? So we'll...
Phillips out to kick. It is angled. That's out of play inbounds. No rouge, it looks like to my eyes.
It's like an NFL kick right out of bounds there at the 5. So yeah, I think it was outside the goal line. So a field, and whether that was the call or whether that was just the result, but again, he gets this one off. It ends up kind of hooking over there. You can see as his leg comes around. And so it's going to be a long field for the Commandos.
Works out. Get the point there. Getting that single point might have been valuable in a game like this, but he'll take it at the 6-yard line.
Well, it all depends on how this drive goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how the Commandos respond here.
Commandos run on play 1. They'll be stuck inside the 10. Now, the other thing that comes into play here, they don't get a good play on 2nd down. They might be forced to take a safety.
Yeah, and you can see on the sweep there, they're getting to the edge. Again, does a great job there of sealing the edge, falling off the blocker and making the tackle. That's Eli Grambo, the safety coming up, making the play. So 2nd and about 7. The Commandos deep in their own end, trying to get out.
Another sweep, some room down the left side, and they've backed themselves off the goal line. Not sure they have enough for a first down. They'll be a couple yards short.
Well, that's that quarterback sweep lead. He just takes the snap, takes off, tries to get the extra blocker out in front, but the Bonnyville Voyageurs defense does a great job of getting him before he gets that first down marker. So interesting call here on 3rd and maybe 3?
Yeah, a long 2 at the very least. They'll need somewhere between the 16 and 17. They're keeping the offense on the field. Wainwright has played conservative so far, but an aggressive call here by Coach Vallow. Run! It's going to work! Out across the 25. Pickup of over 10. Gutsy call. It'll work out for the Commandos.
That's a huge call and a great execution. You can see as they hit the strong strong gap on the right-hand side of that offensive line. They just outmanned them at the point of attack and did a good job. So outstanding execution on a very risky call at that position in the field, but great execution by the team.
Run out to the left. About half of everybody was fooled in the stadium. But it stuck out to the left. My eyes were on a different, there was two very distinct piles. Look on the replay. It's the one on the left that had the football. Replay, you still can't see the football.
Yeah. It's that inside counter, and that's how the play is designed, so you don't see the football. You see all the motion. But again, great job by Bonnyville to be home on the backside and only give up 5 on that.
Yeah, whoever the heck was in there. My eyes sure didn't see it. Pickup of 5. Vallo will fake the pitch, takes it himself. He's got some room down the left side across the 40. It'll be another first down for Wainwright.
I know we're only in like the third quarter with 2 minutes left, but it seems like, it feels like a championship winning drive. Like whichever team can kind of put that next drive together, obviously is going to take the lead if they can get points out of it. And it kind of has that vibe to it already early in this one before we get to the fourth.
They'll fake the pitch. A lot of trouble here for Vallo. Still behind the line of scrimmage. He can throw it. He'll run it instead. Reach that football forward at the end as well. So a pickup of 3 out of just about nothing for the Commandos quarterback.
Well, and him understanding the need to have a little bit of better production on first down. And that's, again, that little reach may not make a huge difference, but it's a difference of a yard, right? And that's where you can see here he gets to the edge, stretches it out. Just give it a little bit of a reach. It's a safe place to do it. Put them in 2nd and 7 instead of 2nd and 8. You never know how this second down goes, and clearly they're willing to go for it on 3rd and short, like they showed earlier on the drive.
Good spot of the football there, too, by the side judge. We like to get on him for the bad stuff. Well, a good one there. Another sweep. It'll be Yahia again, pickup of just 2. They're right at the 45. They need to get the tip of the football to the 50. We'll see if they go again.
Well, a very violent collision here on the sideline by both the back and the linebacker or defensive player. You can see right here, 2 big bodies going at it there. So 3rd and 5.
Now they're going to punt. Turcotte running out into the field. They went for it, though, picked up an additional 31 yards. That's huge, especially in a game that's so tight with just over a minute left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Punt away from Turcotte, low, line drive kick, gonna take a huge Wainwright bounce down inside the 10.
Yeah, outstanding job. He got it to the ground. I think it was about 55 yards, gaining absolutely a ton of field position because he wasn't able to field. And you can see that ball just scooting towards the sidelines, and then really the perfect kick for the field position. Interesting call. They go on 3rd and 4. They go for it. They gain it in their own end, deep in their own end, where they would have put Bonnyville in scoring position automatically, to a great punt, great field position play by their special teams unit and their punter in particular, getting that out of bounds inside, just inside or at the 10.
Fair to say that both worked out. If they don't convert that, Bonnyville's got the ball at the Wainwright 14. Instead, they'll take it on their own 10. Difference of a couple calls by Coach Vallo. Works out for almost 100 yards of field position difference. Good run here by the Voyageurs, going to take them into first down territory. I do want to take a moment here, Rob, to thank the Sport, Physical Activity and Recreation branch of the Ministry of Tourism and Sport with the Government of Alberta, who's a funding provider to the SSA. The funds received from this area of the government are put towards enhancing the quality of life for Albertans. I was going to do that after the punt, and then when it goes 55 yards, felt like it wasn't the right time. Last play of the 3rd quarter. Run up the middle for Critch. He will not stop into first down territory.
Well, in Bonnyville, again, after the long drive, they end up stalling, not getting points after their punt. This time going right back to what has worked and what got them down into the red zone in that run game. And those first couple first downs are absolutely critical when you are deep in your own end, and they do it on 2 plays. Outstanding job by Bonnyville after being deep in their own end to start this drive.
We'll take a quick break. There is no separation in this game. 12 minutes. Bonnyville, Wainwright. One of them is going to snap a long provincial drought.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.
Well, good turnout today. It's cold for the people in the stands too. If my brother, any family member was playing in this game, it'd be a little tougher to drag me out here. But good support from either side today. I want to talk about the Vallows as we start the fourth quarter here at the Johnny Bright Bowl. Tim Vallow, the head coach, a second-generation Commando. This team's been around since the early 60s. His dad played for the Commandos. His father-in-law played Commando football way back in the late 60s. You get these smaller communities, so much revolves around this football team, and there's been a lot of Wainwright support today. You got to look at the crowd there for Wainwright, and it's such a big deal. They're in a tie game. This means a lot to Bonnyville as well. And I'll put it this way: when teams win year after year, every provincial championship matters. But to me, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this one feels like it means just a little more.
Definitely for both these teams, but yes, Wainwright for sure.
Two teams trying to snap some long provincial droughts. Both schools played 12-a-side for a while. They're a bit smaller schools though. Wainwright a little rural. Good stop on first down there.
And I had a great conversation, a couple conversations. We were down in Wainwright last weekend with Tim, and man, what a class act. Outstanding coach. All these coaches are, but really good opportunity for him. Even after a tough loss that we took, he took a moment, and they hosted us for a massive meal, and he took a moment to kind of just call out some of the players that did an amazing job. So class act that he's been running down there, and it's a reflection in the program and the success of these kids.
Pressure all over Fox. Somehow he evades it, and it's one of those negative plays that might feel like a pickup of about 6 or 7, because they were caught way in the backfield, but Wainwright just kept after it.
Well, the athleticism saved them probably 10 yards of field position, although they still are 3rd and 15. It could have been a lot worse. So you can see there it would have been quite a bit further back, but just trying to make a play, getting some yards back out of that. Maybe got 5 or 6 more back after he took off. But big stand for the Commandos defense. We talked about first down production. Starting with first down defense, did an outstanding job, put him in a tough second down now, punting this one away.
Lex Wilson got the sack. Ball's out. They'll kick it off of the ground. It's touched by a Commando. There might have been a player within 5 yards. Now the flag drops.
Yeah,
it's out at the 40.
You saw the same thing I did. Because it was a kick, it crossed the line of scrimmage. No yard still can be thrown. And yes, the touch, it was like a tag of the ball on the ground. Then they had to go scramble to get it. Great job of getting it out of the backfield. Like, hey, I'm just kicking this thing. I mean, there it goes. And then you can see right there, definitely within the 5 yards as he tries to pick it up. But great job of getting on it anyways, because he had no idea that flag was thrown. But good job. Interesting defensive stand and decision on the muffed punt. there to give the Commandos some great field position. Again, they didn't really get the field position and they had to work for it in the first half. This time they've got it, and again, the turnover in the first half got points for them, and now they've got themselves in great field position here. We'll see if they have to make a decision on a punt single or not, but their offense is ready to go.
No chance there to get outside that 5-yard box in the no yards call, but it will. Good job there by Phillips as well, just to kick that off the ground. Still about 20 yards of extra field position picked up, maybe more, as the run up the middle for Wainwright gets about halfway there.
So Wainwright finding different ways to move the ball, coming downhill, just a quick hitter to the right side there. You can see does a good job of getting downhill. Good initial surge, and then the defense rallied to limit the gain to about 5.5 yards there. So great second down situation for Wainwright.
Another run. Really strong run formation. They're going to get right around the sticks. It was Rajat, the running back, and I think it's right. It's really close. Now they'll call it a first down.
I think you can see there on contact, he turned off and then spun, and that was enough to get him just the extra half yard or so to get the first down. But good job on tough conditions to keep your feet is obviously a little bit harder than normal. So great job producing the first down there.
Under 10 minutes to go. If you can get one of those clock-killing drives that result in a touchdown, could be a tough one to come back from. Run down the left side for Vallow. He scored a touchdown earlier. It was a big one, 50-some yards. And we got a flag at the end of the play. As Vallow was going out of bounds, the side official just kind of dropped the flag on the ground. I wonder what this one's for. Didn't see any big contact or URs at the end, nothing in that range.
Holding or legal block, maybe? No.
It is a UR on the defense. We'll see if we can find it.
So that's a tough one there. That's not good for Bonnyville. We'll see if we can catch it. But again, that same just quarterback lead out to the side. And they really do stretch it. But they run it to the wide side of the field, which gives them the opportunity there. So steps out of bounds. Oh yeah, there it is. Definitely. That was about 5-6 yards out of bounds.
From the 2, Wainwright. Going to do a quarterback sneak out to the left side. Touchdown, Wainwright. It's Nathan Hunter, the defensive end and fullback, into the end zone. The Commandos take a 1-touchdown lead here early in the fourth quarter.
I love the like little quarterback sneak, but he kind of rolls off to the side there. And that's no quarterback back there. That's a big high school football player who's playing quarterback. Again, great awareness to realize everything gets compressed inside. He just slides off the edge and sneaks himself into the end zone. So huge play there for Wainwright.
These extra points have been no gimmies today. They've went through. They haven't been easy.
No, everything, the execution, the snap, the hold, all is difficult in this condition.
Got a ton of movement. Now, if this is against the Voyageurs, see how aggressive Wainwright might get if this thing comes back as well. Could get a little more interesting on the extra point.
Well, and you can opt to take the yards on the kickoff if you want to gain a little more in that field position piece if they want to. Because sometimes on a convert, and I mean, they haven't been convincing kicks through the uprights here, but you have the opportunity. Looks like it's actually going back, so it looks like it's against the Commandos without a zoom in on his lips to see if we can read that one, but a little procedure likely. They're moving it back. So this actually is a little trickier now. It's like the success in converts is harder. It's a little longer of a kick. We'll see how they do here.
This one feels like it could come down to a 1-point game. We'll see if this is where that point is won. Turcotte puts it up. It's good.
That's a good response by your kicker. Again, they haven't been as convincing so far. That was solid contact. Good snap, good hold, and gets that one through very, very nicely. And here's another replay of the touchdown as he slides off the edge and just gets himself into the end zone. So outstanding execution by the Commandos after what turned out to be a tough kicking situation. It wasn't a muffed kick. It was a soccer kick. He kicked it off the ground, but produced great field position, and the Commandos were able to execute with a little bit of a help from that undisciplined penalty on the sidelines that really put them down in the goal line for quarterback sneak situation.
Bonnyville is undefeated on the season. Wainwright felt like they had the best chance probably out of anybody coming into the provincial final. Well, right now, the number 1 team is on the ropes. Down a touchdown. The time left in this football game, 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Clock now stops at 9:07. Time for another drive. Maybe still 2, 3, 4. You never know.
Well, and again, the good thing is 9 minutes left on the clock. Bonnyville doesn't have to abandon their run game, which they've found success doing today. And that's really where they've moved the ball, is through that run game. So they don't need to worry about rushing it right now. If Commandos get a stop here and they got to punt it away, that next drive may be a little more urgent. But I think they can stay with what they do well, see if they can produce some first downs.
Critch is met in the backfield. This Commandos defense has been stellar, and Yahia has been right in the middle of it.
They have responded so well trying to stop this run game in the second half, and that's just another example of this defense understanding what Bonnyville does well and finding a way to adjust. So their halftime adjustments clearly are working, because the run game, which Bonnyville executed to perfection in the first half, is not as successful.
Wainwright has scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Bonnyville 1. Here's a long run. They might get one back, but there's a flag down near the start of the play. Omen is out of bounds, deep into Wainwright territory, but we're going to have to check the flag.
I think it's offside on the receiver. He was skating down the line of scrimmage. That's my guess.
It's against the defense.
Big play, big call. So I think the offside, the defensive guy jumped, and then the offensive guy who was trying to pin the edge stepped into him. So that's where it happened, on the right side of the edge. But what an outstanding run by the Hammer, coming down the field to put them in great field position to try to tie this one up here.
Boy, 8 minutes left to go. Quickly after Wainwright takes the lead, Bonnyville has the ball in the red zone. They got to take an extra second here. Sticks couldn't move till the penalty was called, so they'll reset those. And we are ready to go. Just outside the 15. They're going to give it to Critch over the middle. And a pickup of 5 or 6 on first down.
And I like the discipline by Bonnyville. Stay with what you know. Stay with what you do well. They have no problem coming to that inside kind of trap game there. And you can see he hits the hole, gets himself some great first down production. That's going to be critical for them as they finish this drive off to keep it going. They can't take any negative plays. They can't take any turnovers, obviously. See if they can do it again.
Handoff, Omen bounces it outside across the 10. He's into first down territory, first and goal territory.
So this team, both these teams built very, very similar. Very physical on both sides of the line. Great running backs. Again, slightly different approach, leaning on that run game a little bit more with 2 backs in the backfield. And the Commandos kind of moving things around a little bit. We'll see if Bonnyville can finish this one off.
From the 4. Is this a wishbone? Handoff. Critch bounces it outside. Touchdown! Bonnyville responds in a heartbeat.
An outstanding drive by Bonnyville, doing what they do best, running the ball, coming downhill, getting to the edge once in a while, and again, just an outstanding physical drive by Bonnyville. Not only did they capture the points, but they've got some momentum here with still lots of time for both these teams to try to finish this one off.
Extra point to tie it. Critch on the hold. The kick is up. It's through. Liam Phillips ties us at 21.
We've got ourselves a wonderful game here. Outstanding on both sides of the ball. Again, defenses are finding stops when they can, and this time it was the offense of Bonnyville who found a way into the end zone, and not surprised who gets them there. But their sledgehammer in the backfield just rolling over defenders.
You know what I love about high school football? Tomorrow in the 5A championship, we are going to see a very modern, very 2025 passing offense from the Ernest Manning Griffins. But here in the 9-a-side championship, you're getting some old school plays pretty much pulled straight out of the 50s.
Hey, that's downhill, smash mouth. Doesn't matter if it's snow, mud, rain, any condition. we're going to run right at you.
So now Wainwright will have a chance to respond. Rajat on the return. A little bit of a seam up the middle, takes it across the 40. And with 6:49 left to go, I don't even think that drive from Bonnyville took 2 minutes. Might have been just one.
Well, it was the one stop on defense, the big play, and then they were down in the goal line and quickly operating that offense. And I tell you, this offense that Bonnyville ran, and that was seen on that drive, wears you down. Like, it physically was so demanding on our team when we played them in the second half. That run game just is physically demanding on the front of the defense, and so you can see it there. They had a harder time. But now it's the Wainwright time, who found a way to move the ball on offense. We'll see if they can do it one more time.
21-21. Not even sure if this will come down to a touchdown or field goal. Feels like a game that could come down to a single point. Pass on the outside, little dangerous, intended for Oracheski. Seen him a little more in the first half. Haven't seen him yet in the second. 2nd and 10.
So a little play action there. He rolls out to his right, trying to find it, but great coverage. And you can see he almost undercuts that. You can see Grambo covering the guy. He starts to step to the quarterback, but then he gets back to his receiver, does a great job of defending that one to put him now in what, again, not great first down production, which is something both teams need to continue to do if they want to keep these drives going. So 2nd and long.
Wainwright's a young team. Nerves probably not a factor at this point of the game. We're on straight adrenaline. Throw down the sideline is intercepted. Molashevsky pulls out. This is chaos at the end of the play. I believe Bonnyville is going to get it on their own 50. They will.
Well, again, that's a quarterback just trying to make a play in a game, just throwing it downfield. Not a lot of receivers open. You can see he makes himself a little bit more time here, and this is where he's just got to eat it, throw it away. Although, the reality is it's probably a similar result to the punt. Yeah. We'll see the finish here because the ball does come out. We'll see what happens.
Well, that ball
so it's definitely out there. Now, who's on it? You can see Bonnyville jumps on it. Looks like they do scoop it and secure that one.
It was 53. Wyatt Neer with the fumble recovery. In the end, a run by Oman picks up 9.
This is a dangerous position to put Wainwright's defense in. You're up against a run game that has been pounding at you all day long. They just got a long drive, put it in the end zone on the ground, and now they're in a situation with 5 minutes left. They can work this clock down and finish this with a victory drive here.
Run for Critch. Puts the shoulder pads down, hits the truck stick across the 50. More than enough for a first down, Bonnyville.
You wonder what the recipe was for Bonnyville in the first time these two faced each other and they had a huge deficit and they came back. Is this the same recipe? Lean on that run game, break a couple big runs, but just physically wear down the defense. This is where the run game and staying with it all game makes a big difference. Is the defensive linemen are getting tough yards here.
Ton of players on the line of scrimmage for Wainwright, but Bonnyville as well. This time they'll go to Oman. Cuts it to the outside, and he'll take it to the 40. More first down production for Bonnyville. 6.
Well, you can see here just coming downhill, continuing to do what they do well. Again, reading the back, reading the block, getting positive first downs, positive first down yardage, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. That's where they want to live, because this run game is very effective when they're in this situation.
Ball placed just outside the 40. Wonder if it's 3 down territory here for Bonnyville. Fox, the quarterback, has done a great job today commanding this offense, barking out instructions to Critch right now. He'll give it to him. Critch, same play. They're running 2 plays out of the same formation. One to Critch, one to Oman. And why would you stop? Another big pickup out to the Wainwright 30.
Yeah, you force the defense to stop what you're doing well. And you don't need to vary from it. And again, I think they got away from the run game a little bit in the third quarter because of some good defensive stands by Wainwright, but they're getting back to it as that defense is a little bit more tired. Time of possession was only 13-11, but I bet you it's a little bit heavier in Bonnyville's favor, and that means the defense is a little bit more tired.
Another give up the middle. This time Wainwright's defense responds. A pickup of only 3.
They need to do that 2 more times here. They want to get off the field, and now we're kind of in punt single situation.
And look at the clock too coming down. This drive's already taken up a few minutes.
That's all Bonnyville wants. And again, now it's like, okay, their punters have been a decent job. Can you punt a single? Do you need to punt a single? Obviously, a couple more first downs for Bonnyville is what their plan is. We'll see if they can finish this one and not give Wainwright any chance of coming back. So you hear the crowd's getting louder right in front of us here, and the defensive chants, and the offense is excited to go.
Ullman has some room down the left side, falls forward. This is going to be close.
Again, Critch, when he's not carrying the ball, he's out blocking. Does a great job. Seal on the edge. That's a great tackle. Open field tackle to get him down. Not before gets first down yardage. And so Bonnyville, this is playing right into their hands. Strong run game. The clock's winding. Let that clock go. And take away more time for Wainwright if they are able to score here.
Handoff, Ullman up the middle. Wainwright is going to respond again. Like you said though, Rob, it could be 3-down territory. It could be punt single territory. Just how much clock can Bonnyville work off?
Well, and you feel like the momentum, you feel the tilt of the field. You just feel like it's tilted in the way of Bonnyville right now, and it's just a little bit more of a downhill run for them. And I would definitely take the points if I had the opportunity, but I'm sure they're looking for a first down here.
2nd and 7. Give to Ullman. Met in the backfield. Boy, he almost got away. And just hanging on was Colin Rajat. A rookie.
Well, there's no doubt the defense is fully committed. They're blitzing through the different gaps on the inside, trying to get into the backfield. They're successful on that one, slowing them down. So now, interesting field goal time. So again, they feel like they can get the field goal. Obviously lined up for that and don't need to go with the single, but lots can happen on field goals.
Yes.
Got Critch holding, so that's always a good thing. Have one of your best players holding to try to execute this. Big block opportunity for Wainwright. See if they can keep this at 0.
Turcotte in the end zone, hoping to be able to take one out. This kick is through. A line drive kick goes right through for Liam Phillips. 21.
So this is what legendary high school athletes are made of. You got 1:59 left on the clock. You can see that just get over the bar. Just over the bar, but hey, opportunity for Wainwright. This is the moment that probably most of these kids have thought about. I want to be in a championship game. Maybe it's the Grey Cup, maybe it's the Super Bowl, the Vanier Cup. Right now it's a high school provincial championship. The level you can get to in high school. We'll see what they can do on this opportunity with 1:59 left. Down 3.
Our first field goal of the Alberta Bowl. Is it a game winner? We don't know that yet. 1:59. How can Wainwright respond? They will pitch it. Some room down the right side. Ooh, what a tackle. Gain of 5. Who is that? I should have been able to tell. That's Gramble. Went and finished it off. Look at number 11 up top, just flying in there.
Yeah, keeping him in bounds. He's going to keep that clock running. So this is where they're going to need to really operate quickly as an offense, because that clock will run if their tackle is in bounds.
They'll call it a gain of 6. Run up the middle. Makes a man miss across the 50. Pile falling forward. Could have been a gain of 1. It's a gain of about 11.
So again, operating quickly. The clock will stop while they reset the sticks. Once the arm goes of the official, they will start that clock. And so now time is running down. 1:30 and counting. And they're still in the huddle. So this is where they've got to be effective. They've got to practice that 2-minute offense, get to the line of scrimmage and start operating.
Evan Rajat had 230 yards in the semifinal game. This time they're going to go to the air into one-on-one. I think if anyone had a chance at it there, it might have been DeGamo, one of the leading defensive backs.
I like the call on the play action. Unfortunately, they didn't have another receiver downfield, but again, they did get in behind him, but because he's running that corner route, the flat defender was able to fall underneath it and be in the vision of the receiver. But again, play action stops the clock because it's incomplete, so they can get the next play in through the huddle. But 2nd and 10, need to convert to keep this drive alive.
Should be 3-down territory here for Wainwright. How makeable will 3rd down be? Bonnyville all over it again. The usual suspects in there. Moleshi, Grambo. There's a few of them.
Well, 1:05 left. Clock's going to be on a hold because he does look like he gets out of bounds before he's pushed backwards. So they can huddle up, call the play in. But this, if I were to say this is the opportunity for Bonnyville to put this one in the books based on what their offense can do, and Wainwright has to have the 1st down to stay on the field.
Just over a minute left. Wainwright needs it. They'll go play action. Down the field it is! I don't know yet. No one knows. No sign. Bonnyville says it's incomplete. Wainwright will obviously say it was complete. We'll get the best look at things on the replay.
Well, I don't think there was official close enough to see if it was incomplete. It looked complete to me. We'll see he gets it in. Does it hit the ground? It does hit the ground. But they give him the catch. Down. They give him the catch, so they get a little bit of a break without the advantage we have of replay. They give him the catch, and that's the positioning thing that officials, one on the backside, doesn't see where it lands. They end up getting the catch and the 1st down, so they live on.
Another run here for Wainwright up the middle. I'll bring back what happened late in the 1st half. We had a ball that was touched by Wainwright out of bounds. They called it Bonnyville football. That we don't know about. A couple plays later, a touchdown, a long one, where could have been an illegal man downfield penalty against Bonnyville. They let it stand, touchdown. Oftentimes you stick with it, everything pans out. It does here with the game on the line for Wainwright. Only 30 seconds left though. Vallo has room. He's got the 1st down and more.
So out of bounds, 24 seconds left, and now you start to think, okay, what yard line do you need to get to for your field goal kicker to potentially kick a field goal if you don't get the score to take the lead?
Turcotte deepest kick today was 17 yards on an extra point after a penalty. For that, they would need to get it to the 10, but it would have been good from a little further. And they get it to like the 15 or 20. Run. Evan Rajat across the 25, a pickup of 2. The clock will run on the referee's whistle.
So timeout call, which again, good call, and that's where as a running back, and the more you rep this as a high school team, you got to realize, hey, if you're not going to get the yards, and you're always trying to get yards, if he can get himself out of bounds, because again, with no gain, he's probably better off taking a loss of 1 but running out of bounds than a gain of 1 and keeping that clock and using that timeout. So not many timeouts left. With 17 seconds left, although they like to run the sweeps, you probably have it, or play action, you're going to use about 6 to 8 seconds depending on the type of play call it is. So you're going to get probably 2 plays for sure, but probably not more than 3 unless they're really, really quick passing game. And most of their passing game has been play action, so I don't anticipate something different from that. But a little bit of play action, but again, also playing into their minds is, okay, what can our kicker do, right? And again, you think back to that field goal that just got over the bar. If it was a single, well, they're in single position. They're not. The field goal went through just over the bar. This is a finish that I haven't seen a lot of these in Alberta Bowl history, but this is a great one here for the nine-a-side teams that are longing for that championship and the opportunity here with 17 seconds left. Who is going to make the play that is the difference in this one?
Last year's Alberta Bowl in the nine-a-side championship was a 1-point game. This one somehow feels even tighter. Play action. Vallo trying to get to the edge. Does he have it? Almost. Not quite. He'll pick up positive yards. Connor Wood stuck with him every step of the way. Vallo does get out of bounds, so the clock stops. They're going to get another play, but it's 3rd down right now.
Play action, get your athlete to the edge. Again, chased down by our tight end defensive lineman. Woods doing a great job of limiting that, but gets out of bounds. So now if it's a long play, this game could be over if they don't score. If it's a short play with a short gain and he goes down quickly, he may have the opportunity.
Third down, they need to get it near the 15. Another play action, Vallow.
Lots of room.
Throws it to the end zone, going for the win. Touchdown.
You kidding me?
Evan Radchot with 3.5 seconds to go. It looked like he had a run for a first down. He throws it for a touchdown.
You talk about poise in a quarterback. If he takes off and runs, the clock probably runs out. He may not get to the end zone. Dropping a dime over coverage, the focus to take the lead with seconds left in this one. Unbelievable poise to take the lead here.
Like you said, it looked like he had room in front, and you see him winding back to throw. Extra point is good, and you're almost like, what's he doing?
I know.
But he's throwing for a provincial championship, apparently. Now there is 3.3 on the clock. Here's another look at the touchdown. Vallow, I didn't even call the name, to Evan Radchot, the running back.
You know, and the DB had tight coverage. He gets his hand in there, but what focus by the receiver. You can see on the end of this, hands in there, and he just knows if he catches this, this is potentially an Alberta Bowl championship. And what a drive. We talked about it. Legends are made right there, and that is a high school legendary play in my mind. Throwing a touchdown, seconds left on the clock. Outstanding poise, outstanding execution by Wainwright to take the lead here with just seconds left in this one.
Now could be the championship on the kickoff. Bonnyville could take a quick knee and get the offense back on the field, but you wonder if maybe they'd rather just try to spring something in the return game. We'll see. Clock won't start until Bonnyville touches it. Does Wainwright have something funny drawn up here on the special teams as well to try and end this game? We'll see. Turcotte on the kickoff. He's going to kick it hard. It'll be into the hands of Critch. Breaks it across midfield. He's down. Is there time on the clock? It's at zeros now, but they could reset it. Wainwright wants to celebrate. They don't know if they can yet. The officials are going to discuss. Looked like the clock might have been at 0.4, but it was kind of frozen.
We have had glitches with the clock where it has stopped on the clock, but then it flips to the time when it actually gets stopped. So that's a tricky one here. And we'll see what the refs decide here, because I think when he went down, there may have been 0.4 left. But was that because of a glitch on the clock? It looks like they're giving them at least one more play. That's they're lined up and no one's celebrating. So what do they have in their sleeve? Do they have a must score from the 50-yard line to see if they can get it? So
it's the right call. He's down with time.
Yeah, and we're looking at the screen clock. You can see that clearly he had time left, and they've got their one play with technically 0.4. It's reading zeros. They'll get the play off.
50 yards to the end zone. Bonnyville praying a Hail Mary, maybe something else, for a Alberta Bowl championship. Oh my goodness, they almost had a receiver. Wainwright wins it. 9-a-side, provincial champions.
An unbelievable moment for, you think, the alumni, the coaches, the players, everybody involved here. And you can see the heartache on Bonnyville. And again, the classy players they are in Wainwright, consoling the heartbreak that Bonnyville is feeling. And that's the thing about championship games. There's always one team that can't believe what the experience is and the heartbreak of the other team. In this case, Bonnyville running the table this year, but just not able to close this one out. And what an unbelievable drive. Finishing play, a touchdown catch and throw to put this one in the books for Wainwright.
Stick around. We'll have the trophy presentation. Until there were zeros on the clock, we weren't sure where this one was going to go. Well, it's headed to Wainwright. It's been a long time for both teams. For Wainwright, they won the Tier 3 provincial championship in 1994. They've only qualified for provincials a few times. Haven't been back to the Alberta Bowl in 31 years. Well, they got there, and they win. I mean, we got 3 games tomorrow. We've seen some classics over the years. I remember a couple years ago in Red Deer, there was an overtime game. There was a massive comeback in the main event, so to speak. But I don't know. This one I feel like is going to steal the show for the rest of the weekend. Just the dramatics and the
storybook ending. You couldn't have written a script. I mean, for any team to win a championship like this, obviously the 2 storied franchises here that have been involved in football for a very long time, seeking that out. But again, Wainwright coming out on top, but an unreal performance by both teams. You mean the run game, the clutch finish by a quarterback-receiver combo to get into the end zone with seconds left. It doesn't really get better than that in high school.
Even talk about the last play there, and it looked like Bonnyville had a man for just a moment, but I mean, that is as close as a win can get. You're talking about inches one way, inches the other way, and this game would be totally flipped. But in that last minute, everything just seemed to go right for Wainwright, who, I mean, by about as close of a margin as you can have. I guess they don't ask you how, they just ask you if you did it. And Wainwright, the Commandos, are 2025, 9-a-side, Alberta Bowl champions.
In talking to Coach Valo last week, he was saying when he found out after the game, we found out the score of the Bonnyville-Ponoka game, and he was actually like, hey, we wanted Bonnyville in the finals because we feel we match up against them. We feel we can do some things, and they do match up. After seeing both these teams today and playing them during the year, very good matchup here for both these teams. And again, the score showed it, the game showed it. What an exciting game this was here on the Friday night in Edmonton.
Obviously, you have the elation on one side. I mean, it's an absolute heartbreaking defeat on the Bonnyville side. It's a tough one to swallow. They were just seconds away from a provincial championship. There's no way to really sugarcoat it. There's 13 graduating players on the team, the 10 grade 11s and 13 grade 10s. They'll have another chance, but you just feel for the grade 12 players out there. But, maybe not tonight, maybe not even this month, week, year, whatever, but down the road, you think Bonnyville has a lot to be proud of, not just tonight, but in the whole season as well.
Yeah, and there's no, like you said, there's no easy way to take a loss like this, but, this program is going to be a powerhouse in 9-a-side football for years to come. They've done it right. They've built it the right way. I've seen the operation of their minor football that leads to this high school team. They will be here again in the near future, competing for a championship for sure with the established program, and that's what programs want to do, is always give themselves the opportunity and then try to find a way to finish. So Bonnyville will be back for sure, and Wainwright, of course, same thing on their side. They've got some great returning players, some great athletes, a staff, and a community that really supports the program. They will be back as well, but this one's going to feel pretty sweet for Wainwright on the road home.
Wainwright's a young team, 17 grade 10 players. A lot of them had no football experience coming into the season. In fact, it was actually apparently a bit tough for some of the returning players because they had to take it right down to the basics at the start of the year. But the basics can win you a championship, and regardless of how young the team is, that's going to be the lasting image. An Alberta Bowl, a provincial championship. And it's really, a play that's going to go down in history for the small town of Wainwright. Valo and Evan Rajat are never going to forget
that connection, the relationship, and what transpired through that relationship here on the field will never be forgotten in a community like that, and in high school football. Like legendary drive, we talked about it. It got set up perfectly. You know, Bonnyville taking the lead late in that one, less than 2 minutes. They put a drive together, and they find a way to win this one.
Just a furious fourth quarter in the cold. Doesn't really get more Alberta than Wainwright and Bonnyville coming down to the wire in freezing temperatures, trading punches back and forth in the fourth quarter. Just seen us in the announce booth. We were going crazy. I think I was spitting everywhere on the touchdown call. It was such a good game for Elijah Vallow today. He had that 52-yard run as well earlier at the start of this second half. I mean, I have the stats right in front of me. It was mostly Bonnyville on the ground. 309 of their 369 yards were picked up on the ground. Those few big gains, though, by the Commandos, they ended up with 288 yards of total offense. It was a big advantage for Bonnyville coming into the second half, so that was pretty much a wash in our second half of play. I mean, this game as a whole, I feel like it wasn't really about stats.
Well, Bonnyville owned the time of possession, too, with that solid run game, but it came down to the winning drive, and it was only a 2-minute drive, but it's all they needed to take the lead.
You can kind of, I love having these.
Yeah, I know.
You can take a look, but you can kind of throw the stats out the window a bit here. It was really a fourth quarter that came down to moments. Even in the first half, it was just a few big plays that were just moments. And, you know, as you mentioned, it's two teams that you've played this year, two really elite nine-a-side teams, and for Wainwright, it's been a long time since they've won. And this is the second drought that we've had snap today here. And obviously the Cougars winning in the six-a-side provincial championship, and a couple small towns where this just means so much, Rob.
Yeah, and you could just see on the field there the demonstration of community that's involved in football in general, but the nine-a-side league in particular. You can see all the teams coming together, win or lose. They come together. They have a moment with the teams that they just battled against. You know, they battled against during the year. They battled against in the cold. And again, some outstanding performances. But in the end, it came down to a championship drive that needs to get done. And Wainwright had what they needed. And interesting, because we talked about time of possession and how much time could Bonnyville run off the clock on their last drive. Clearly, leaving 2 minutes for Wainwright was too much on tonight's field.
It was those drives back and forth in the second half. It just, the momentum swings in this game that we had. At times it looked like Bonnyville in the first half was just waiting for the breakthrough, like they were going to run away with it. Wainwright, though, they just kind of stick right there. And then in the third quarter, all of a sudden, Wainwright scores a couple touchdowns. It's 21-7 for Wainwright, or 21-14 rather, sorry, for Wainwright. And then Bonnyville comes back. They scored 10 straight points. In the end, like you said, it was Wainwright, but it's got to be hard, or maybe it's easy in a provincial championship. You got a trophy on the line. How did Wainwright just stick in this thing through all those peaks and valleys?
Well, I think they definitely faced adversity in the first half, and that grinding run game of Bonnyville kind of played its toll. But in the moments they needed it, they got the stop on Bonnyville's drive, forced the field goal, and then, you know, like, I mean, what do you say about a young kid driving the field, 2 minutes left? I mean, most kids don't have that opportunity in a high school opportunity, and maybe it's in the next junior college or pros. But what poise by the quarterback to just move the ball, execute, making plays. They rolled him out a couple times, like they got him moving to the sideline, some play action, let him run, and a phenomenal athlete making plays on the edge, and then obviously making the big pass, which had to be perfect. Coverage was good. The pass had to be right on point and perfect, and he was able to do that. But I think weathering the storm of this run game, finding stops when they needed them, gave them that opportunity with 2 minutes left, and they executed on the drive. So, I mean, both sides of the ball executed well. Special teams contributed, helped things out in this whole game. And so, you put it all together, and Wainwright edged them out. They were not the dominant team today, and neither was Bonnyville, but championships, great matchups. This was it tonight, and Wainwright got it done.
In the end, it's Elijah Vallow to Evan Rajat, a touchdown that Wainwright is going to remember forever. Thank you so much for tuning in to these IC Live procasts today of the Alberta Bowl. Nine-a-side champions on a last-second play Wainwright Commandos take their first one in a long time.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.